Hello, Vicky Retro Queen Bee Art. And for some reason, my phone is not so up high, which I'm glad. Well, I mean low. It's up high somehow. Anyway, I don't even know. I just need to settle in. I have been very busy with little puppies and ooh, getting all this situated so we can have a fun craft time. Got my fluids here. Got some water here in case I need it. And I do have my folder. One thing I'm missing, I think, oh yeah, I left on the table, is my project I've been working on the week with using books, coffee table book for a background page. So hi everyone. Oh, take some deep breaths. How you guys doing? Let me know. I got my comments on. Anybody out there who would like to comment, please do. Let's see. My mic's working good. My comments are on. And so I'm just going to turn it to the work table so that we can begin to play around with the background and see what we can come up with to use in our journals, art journals, make a collage on top. So here we go. All right. And I need to move this over here. This is what I've been working on. I did put it, I think, in the community page, and I was hoping some people would be able to see it. I'm going to put my mouse over here. And hopefully I don't need to add anything else. This was the tag that I made, but I only did the background with the putty crunchy paper, crazy putty paper. How about that? And I decided to name it because it doesn't really have a name, which is made out of cornstarch. And let's see if I can kind of focus this in so you can see what I did with it. I added paint and numbers, coffee, stain, more collage papers, found a focal point, and this was on my jelly plate paper, and I embossed it, and then I just colored, you wipe it with pink and white to get it a coloring. I did sew it. So I thought for my journal, this would make a good flip like this, see? And so that's, what I will do with this. You could use it also as a cover. It is pretty thick. I had to add some of this type of file folder strength. So I added that on top of the paper because the paper wasn't enough to keep it stability, to keep it straight. And so I created this man. He is available, this paper doll. I have 3 paper dolls in my coffee shop. What I did is I digitalized them from cloth dolls. I had won them on eBay. That was a fun auction. And so what I did with them is I just made digital paper dolls with them. And so you have to kind of cut them and trim them and create faces and embellish them so that they can become yours. You can make them yours, and they look really cool. Like this mustache wasn't quite right, so I had to fix the mustache under the nose. So what else did I had to cut, oh, I cut this out so I could see this. And then I just use watercolor pens, and I created a really, see the sparkles in his hat? Yeah, and on his flower. Anyway, I said, I doubt it. He just looks like, I doubt it. Anyway, the background is from the cookie paper, and then I added inks on top of that. So go check out my community page. I did give more description, exactly what materials I used. And so go check that page out to see if you want to know more about the materials I used. All right, so let's put this one away. Oh, I was looking at this one. We did this on a live, and I haven't done anything else. But I was thinking I could make this into kind of a pamphlet notebook. And I could add like a line here. And so I could make a small, I'm not sure which side I would do it on. I think I have to do it on this side. Yeah. A small binding here so that I can stitch in some pages right here. And then create this over and over. And then I need to do a back. I'm thinking about just doing the same stencil on the back, but maybe instead of all of it, maybe just do the more flowers, floating flowers instead of a stem. That's what I'm thinking. And then all I have to do then is do this. I'm not sure what I will do with this, but something will come to me. But that's what I'd like to do with this folder. Okay. The background pages are very, very, very large. So it's 12 inches by about 15 and a half inches. This is a coffee table book that I bought at the thrift. And it has very long, big papers. And I've done some origami in it. I've done some, you know, where you, magigami, is that what monogami, you know, where you crunch it and make paper. But see, look at the beautiful sunlight, just beautiful photos in here. So if you're lucky to catch some, see, like you can, I'm even thinking like, I mean, look at that for background. There's a lot of small photos that you can use on your pockets. It's really pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So that's what I'm thinking about. I want to use more of this book. So that's, I started with looking at the backgrounds. This particular piece of paper was originally from that book. And I have done so much to it, you can't really tell. But you can get the gist. So like a lot up here is some of the background that's sweeping in that you can see. I really like these, this particular lettering. Let's see if I can find, I'm trying to find, oh, it's coarse molding paste, but when it, from Golden, but when it dries kind of opaque, so that you can, not opaque, translucent, so that you can see through the 8 and the 2 and the 5, 6. Those are translucent, so you can see through to the bottom of the page. Isn't that cool? That was a surprise to me. I did not know that that would do that. Now, on these particular numbers here, I put a double layer. I didn't mean to, but I had to correct some stuff. It didn't come out numbery the way I wanted it, so I had to redo it. This is an original one, but I did get some stuff after spray on there. So lots of different textures, a lot of different things going on here. And the butterfly, that's also in my Ko-fi shop. This particular centerpiece was for my telephone book. So anyway, I just want to play more with these backgrounds. I picked out a couple that I sanded, and I don't really like my sander that much because I get all these dots. But I'm going to work with it. I ordered a really soft sander grit from Amazon, but it won't be here till tomorrow. So I sanded all this, and this is what I came up with. It's just a forest of trees, but by the time we finish, I'm not sure if we'll know that it's a forest of trees. I do need to get a file folder so we can tape that on. At the file folder. All right. I guess we're not going to tape it on. We're going to glue it on. Let's see. Now I might, if it's bigger than this file folder, I probably will, I might cut this down. And I think I will. Because I don't want it bigger than the file folder. And, you know, if I want to cut it into pieces or anything, I can. Just gotta get my cutter out here. I haven't had it out for a while. And I'm just gonna, I just want to make sure that it cuts straight. Little strips like this. I'm just guessing to cut it down some. And cut it down here. Well, I started taking the puppies outside for their first time. And then I decided to do a little bit of yard work. The sun is shining and not raining in Washington State. So that is a good thing. And I could clean out some beds for gardening. So is that going to be okay? That'll be okay. Alright, so I'm going to place this on a firmer background because the paper has a tendency to wrinkle and, you know, do those kinds of things. So I'm looking course, I reorganized my desk, and it's really hard to find things. So I can't remember where I put them. But once I start using them, then I remember. So I'm getting better adjusted to my new organization. I do have one of those ADHD brains my whole life. And I used to be a dreamer a lot, and you know, I used to ask my mom, why do I forget things all the time? She's because I have a busy mind, which I do have a busy mind. Let's see. I want this kind of heavy. Oh, I do want it heavy. So that it will glue, it will stick well. I have no idea if this particular glue is waterproof glue. I don't know if there's such a thing. Anybody out there know if we have waterproof glue, if that is a thing? Well, I started doing live shows on YouTube in July, and I fell in love with doing lives. And I do like making videos. I guess I must say, I must admit, I do not like editing them. It is a pain in the butt, and it's tedious. And for my ADHD brain, it's very tedious. So I like filming. I don't like editing very much. So I'm trying to find a program with Ecamm that maybe can make editing a little bit easier. Where I can talk and do the artwork at the same time. I'm not sure if I can do that. I've never done that before. It might take me a little bit of practice. Okay. So there it is. Looks like tinsel trees, huh? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to like, how about, I think I will measure it so that I will know. I'm going to do half and half. One half clear gesso and one half coffee, and then I'm going to reverse it. But I kind of want to have a, let's see, where's a pencil? I want to have a line, so I know from here up will be gesso, and let's put coffee down here, because coffee wants to go downward. So let's do that, and I can always go like this, right? So I could put coffee here. I can always turn it upside down and do it, because I wanted the larger piece with clear gesso, because my previous one I did not put clear gesso on it. I thought I would try it just with coffee stain. I don't have much clear gesso. I thought I ordered some from Amazon, but I'm going to have to check. I thought I did, but so I am looking for a brush, and the way I want to apply this clear gesso is very lightly and not much. So I'm going to just put a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to start lightly, just kind of going up like this, and then I'm going to go up So what I intend to do is put the coffee stain on top of the clear gesso and see what the difference is, since we're experimenting, right? And just lightly, light. I have a tendency to be heavy, so I really have to practice light. And I know that that was my main thing with watercolor painting, is I'm so darn heavy with, I really have to practice and pay attention to, and you notice I started out in a system and then I didn't stay with it. So see, that's my ADHD brain. Just so that everybody knows what I have had to live with for a very long time, since I'm elderly now. And you know, they didn't have help for my age group. All right, so I think hopefully I have everything covered. I think I do. Okay. Now, put that in the water. Okay, so let's put, I don't feel like getting all my glass dirty, although it cleans up. Okay, so I don't know if you can see. Let's see, I'll try. Okay, so now this is just coffee stain, instant coffee and water. You can make it as dark as you want. This, I made it kind of dark for me. You know, you don't have to make it this dark. Because I will be taking some of it off. You can use tea, a lighter coffee mixture. Oh, see, and I can already just wipe it off. Because I want it to sit on there a little bit, because it does wipe off very easy, and then it doesn't stain, right? If you do want a lighter look, of course you can and you can see that the paper is already buckling some. And I think that you just can't help it. We can minimize it and we can hide it. So as you notice, where's my other one? You're not really seeing any buckling. You know why? Because I hid it. I hid it with some layers of white cornstarch paper. And you can't really tell. This particular piece here, this is, it has a little wrinkle here. It is, what do you call it? Acetate. This is acetate all the way down to here. So it does, and you can kind of see, it does have a little bit of wrinkling, but I don't mind, and acetate does wrinkle sometimes. So that's how that works anyway. So when we get this paper wet, See, now I put the clear gesso on this side. It did not start wrinkling. But as soon as I got this paper wet, it started wrinkling, even glued onto the background. So that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing to find out. So see if you can see it. I don't know. Can I show you? It's a little bumpy. It doesn't really show in the camera. I can see it with my eye. Oh, there we go. See the little bumps there on the paper where I did the clear gesso on this side, and there's no bumps. So if you want bumps, we can always hide them. I'm just kind of dapping this a little bit. Just like that. And I think that's all I want. Okay. Now I have my 3 little puppies. Oh, I sold 1 puppy. So I have 2 more to sell, and then 1 I'm going to keep. So I have 3 right down by my feet right now. I do have a Bachelor of Science degree, so I love to do experimenting. It's a lot of fun. Well, I hope my community will grow. And eventually I will have people come and join me on my live shows. So there's more buckling when I get it wet with the file folder. A little bit wet here. Clear gesso is not expensive. I've gone through this whole bottle, pretty much, a jar. Sorry, jar. I really like how that looks with the clear gesso. And just adding your stain on top of the paper, I think if you have it glued down to a stiffer paper, like a file folder, the wrinkles are less, because sometimes when you get this paper wet, it moves around and changes. Even the length and width of the paper can change when it's wet. So I'm trying to yes. So we do have some bubbling of the paper when we just go for the stain on top. But we can hide that bubbling as we layer. So it is kind of a cool background. to use. Okay, so I think this kind of feels damp over here in this corner. Now I'm going to apply the coffee stain onto the clear gesso. There we go. Wow, so you can see the difference. Now the coffee stain does take away some of the scratches and dots that I put into to try to sand off the top of, and that's the clear gesso, which, you know, is clear, but I have no bumps on that so far. All right, so we're going to add water to it, though. Let's see what happens. Let me get... All right. So it does dry kind of a deep chocolatey color on top of a bunch of green trees. You can't, it makes the green trees darker. Now if you used a tea stain, it wouldn't be as dark. And that might be okay too. Just use what you have. If you got either one, try it out. I've been in the experimental mode. I don't know why. I just have been. All of January. I was looking at the 100-Day Project, and I really like the ladies who do that. They're really nice ladies. I listen to their podcast. And I'm thinking of participating in it. And because I have so many tea bags, and I want to learn and grow on what I can do with tea bags. Because I drink a lot of tea, and so they're available to me. So I was kind of thinking doing a simple, maybe like a short, doing a short on simple tea bag usage every day for 100 days. I think maybe then I would be able to get that done. And I do need some shorts for my YouTube channel. All right, so let's see. I think I see a little bit of bubbling but not as much. Oh, I don't know. So it's really hard to show it on the. It's, to me, I think it's a little bit less bubbling. It could have been where I missed the gesso, right? Because I didn't stay in the system. All right, well, let's just blow dry it. So it gives us a grungy background, right? So we still do have some areas of bubbling, even doing clear gesso. On top of the book page, but it is less. So it seems like right here in the middle, so there is some bubbles here. There's some bubbles here. I'll show you in just a minute. I'm going to make a little notes here in the file, so I'm not sure if it makes any difference in using a clear gesso to prevent bubbles on top of the paper. I think there's less. So it seems like there's less on this side over here. Right here we have some, right here and right here and right there. So it looks like, I don't know, it's a toss-up, I think. Okay. Let's write here. So in this one we have clear gesso, then coffee stain, and here we just have coffee stain. Okay, time for Busy Bee here to have some coffee. Tea, I mean. Tea. So on top is just the coffee. And see if I can give you the, if I can see, you can see the bubbling, see? Okay. Then on this part we did the gesso and then the coffee. Now, is the coffee going through the scratches better on that side or on this side? Looks like they're a little more, they're lighter brown. Interesting. Okay. So, but we still do have, let me see if I can show you. Okay, so see, is that this one here on the bottom. This one is the clear gesso one. So you still have bubbles. Okay. But it looks like you have a little bit less, a little bit lighter coffee stain. All right. It's a little sticky still. This side is not sticky. This side is kind of sticky. Just going to kind of like polish it, those stains. All right. So I don't notice any difference. Now, too much difference. So I'm trying to think. I had a centerpiece of this. I wanted to use I don't know, I probably need something else with it. Let's see. And I want to add that. Or I just want to add. So if we add this, then we add these and make this kind of come out. All right. So I wanted to use my cookie glue dried flowers. This is hydrangea, this is oregano, and this is a piece of a leaf from a cypress tree. We have them all over the place. Now I've got to figure out, that background blends too much, don't you think? I'm just looking for things that I think, what I think I might do. I'm thinking, wonder if I use my tea bags. Where are they? Tea bags, where are you? You've got to be here. Just to give, here we are. Let's see. Another texture to this background. All right. So I will keep these centerpieces in mind so that when I get ready to put them on, my background will be ready. I'm thinking maybe we will go lighter. I've got some lighter ones in here. See all these tea bags? Let's see, I've got lighter ones. That one's kind of ripped. Where are some lighter ones? That is a lighter one. This is a lighter one. And this is a lighter one. I'm thinking about just covering this with tea bags. It's hard to picture because the tea bag melts into, here's a lighter one, into the photo, and it's clear, you can see it, but then it has some texture to it. Let me get one more. Oh, here's a light. Is that a lighter one? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Because I'm probably going to cut these so I don't have too much overhang on them. Alright. We're just creating a background. Just creating a background. Oh, that one has, well, probably doesn't matter if I have a hole there. Doesn't matter. It's right in the middle. Let's see. So we're going to put this like here. Oops. There goes my dogs, which I think somebody is coming up the steps. So do I want to put, alright, so I'm just going to cut these a little bit. I might end up making squares out of them and rectangles. I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. Let's see. I think I'm going to use a soft gel matte medium. And I like golden is where I like my mediums. I just like them so much better. Okay. Right. And then we're going to put this down here. Let's see. You know what happened? It feels like the paper just soaked up the gel medium. Interesting. All right, so there is the first one. And I think I am going to cut these like into squares, but I'm going to do rectangles. I'm going to do bigger ones and bigger ones, not small ones. Okay. Is that big? So you could use the cornstarch paste on this, but I'm not. I'm using my True Blue Golden. All right, so let's cut this off. Cut this off. So this is a way where you won't have overlapping bags. Let's try it on this way, this side. Better. Okay. Where you have the edges of the overlapping tea bags. If you cut them in squares, tiny squares, big squares, rectangles, and put them down in that fashion, then you don't have the overlapping lines as you would have doing it without cutting the tea bags. I like them both ways. I like both ways. Just trying to get that tea bag on there. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, then if we do this one, let's do a longer one here. Probably you won't be able to see it. You might see a little bit of it. If they have a piece of tea, I usually don't. I just let it stay. Or if I can, like this particular one, there's still a little piece there. I'm not going to bug with it. And, oh, well, I didn't expect you to be there. Oh. Okay. Measuring how much I need here. So is there a difference in applying this gel medium on top of this paper? Feels a little more difficult right here. What is that? Oh, that's the gesso one. Interesting. Okay. Just kind of like, doesn't have to butt up to it. It can like, it's okay to leave a little space there. That'll peek out in the background as a different color. Okay. Now, I'm just going to continue downward. Downward. I'm going to make a square that big. All right, Vicki, you better hurry up. A square that big. Using my eyes. Using fast cutting scissors. Zoom. Okay. Okay, so we got it there. And I'm just going to add a piece up there. Okay. Boy, I'm just surprised how this magazine really soaks up this medium. Just surprised. I have not used this medium on top of a book page before. Now I've done it with old paper and I know that it soaks it up with old paper. Now this is probably a 1990 book. But there we go. Okay. So we're getting there, right? Let's see. So we need something here. So it's hard. It's kind of hard to see it, right? Hard to see it. Okay, so let's see if we. Okay. See if I got the right. Yeah, that's pretty close. I will accept that. Okay, and this goes, I think, goes this way, I think. Doesn't really matter if your tea bag is inside out or upside down or a little bit tattered. Let's see, kind of like so I think the tea bags are helping to take out some of the bubbles of the paper. That's what I found with my other piece. If I added any kind of clear paper to a bubble, it would really hide it, and then I could add some color on it, and then if there was a little bit there, it, you know, look cool, look like a texture. I don't know if anybody else has ever tried making backgrounds with coffee table books. But it is an inexpensive way to make background paper. And if you have an old coffee book that you haven't looked at, I mean, what is, you know, what do they say about decluttering, right? If you haven't looked at it for a year or two, 10 years, it's been sitting away in a box somewhere, I mean, why not use it in art? Why not, right? Why not? For some reason, I think what I forgot to do is cut off this. It's a little too thick. So I'm cutting off the thickness of the sides of the tea bag. Let's see where I'm at. Of course, better. Okay. Now, the tea bag that I'm gluing on here is not the exact angle of anything. It's all mixed up in angles. And so I am pushing on this tea bag to get some of those wrinkles out of there. All right. Oh, kind of hard to pick up my scissors with my brush. It's like I don't want to stop with my paintbrush. Just kind of continues wanting to go, right? So in art school, you know, you lose that. When you paint, you go boop, 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 boop. So I'm thinking of that. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know why I'm thinking of it, but I am. Let's pick this up a little. I've got a little edging there that I want to go that way. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Or go down, down, down. The only thing, you know, at this point in my life, I like sometimes seeing paintbrush marks. What I can't stand is real big lines when I'm painting. I do not like lines. Okay. I think I've got these really, really nice. All right. Let's go over here. Okay. Might have to get some more paint, more tea bags out. So here now we have a really nice foundation for a background. Of course, we want to add paint, stamping, and you want to glue your focal point last, right? Now, it might behoove me to let this dry without a gun. It's really hard for me to see. There we go. A little bit overlapping, but you know, like right in here, we're going to have the focal point anyway, so it's not going to probably show too much. We might see a little bit of it through the holes of the focal point. After I do this, I need to do some white gesso because this brown and my focal points, I need some contrast. I do need some contrast. Okay. Right there. Ends unless I can roll them out. That'd be okay if I can roll them out. And some of my, yeah, that can roll out. As you can see, some of my tea bags have holes, some have tears. I'm just allowing the background of the magazine and the stain so through. Now, for this, you can cut these. I'm going to be using these particular focal points, so they're going to be more, probably more of a art piece for the journal. Come put a square piece here. So you need a little more glue there. There we go. This wasn't laying there well. Okay, let's see. Do I have enough squares? Maybe I do. Oh. Let's see. This is kind of broken. So I might be able to get one square out of this one. Okay. Oh, here's my brush. So this is a soft gel matte, soft body matte acrylic medium gel that I'm using to put down these particular tea bags onto the background. And I'm using some brush power to get them to smooth out, trying to smooth out as many bubbles as I can at the same time. It'll be interesting to see which side. Here I really missed a pretty big piece on my glue. Well, probably won't matter. It looks like I'm going to have to get another tea bag. Here's a big one. I just need a square. Okay. All right. So I am trying to smooth out wherever I can smooth out with this brush. It looks pretty hardy. The paper is able to take it. Did I miss? I don't think I did. Missed a little bit right in here, but not much. Missed a little bit here, but not much. And I missed a little bit here, but not much. I'm kind of thinking I might just leave it like that. A little bit here. Or if I had any open areas in my background with the tea bag, I think I'm just going to leave it. Because I think in the long run, it will have a benefit. Okay, so right in here, the paper is actually booking. Let's see if I can put a little more, press a little bit harder. lot of the bulking is gone. There is still some bulking remaining though. Just seeing if by chance this works. But as we put more stuff on here, the bulking will pretty much be gone, as you can see. I love the background. Look at it. I mean, really, really, really look at it. Oh my gosh. What a wonderful background to collage on. Okay, so let's pick this up. Let me put this away and stick my scraps in there so they're not all over the place. These are actually more telephone book probably scraps to collage. I don't collage in my telephone book either. The puppies have just been taking a lot of my time. Oh well, I think maybe I'll put these in the telephone bucket. Okay. You know, that's probably sewing pattern paper will probably work too. Okay, so this is the clear gesso side. Oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my gosh. Okay, and I tried the best I can. I did eliminate some of the bubbling on the gesso side. Can't even hardly tell it anymore, huh? And now on the non-gesso side, I have to admit there are more bubbles left. So if you don't clear gesso it, you will get some more bubbling. But it still looks pretty cool. And you can hide those bubbles, as I say, as you layer and layer. See if I can. It's hard to get the bubbles just. So see, you can see a few here. But at this point, there is less bubbling on the clear gesso side. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So if you want to work with less bubbling, you can by placing clear gesso on top. Then put your coffee or tea stain on it. Then you could add a pattern paper, or you could add the tea bags as I did. Look at the background. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Isn't that something? It's just amazing. So, but I can't quite show you the bubbling. It's just in the camera. It's minimal. It's not so big. Okay, well, cool. I want this to cure before I do anything else to it. And so I'm going to say this is good for one background. What time is it? 1 hour and 20 minutes. All right. So I'm going to probably just, let's see, I don't know what I'm going to do on this background. Now this is rocks, isn't that cool? This one is a tree, kind of coming up out of the Grand Canyon, but you can't really see once I sanded it and all those dots. And I'm probably going to cut it off right here where you see a line like that. Oh, and see, you see a line here. So what I will do is cut this off. So next week, I could do part 2 for decorating, picking out the focal point. So see, I would do that. And this one has one too. I'm not sure how that got there. So I think what I will do is I'm going to glue these onto I'm going to glue these two onto a file folder, and then I'm going to clear gesso them. Hopefully I have enough clear gesso. Not really. I may wait till I get another jar of clear gesso if I can get it. And then I'm going to coffee stain these. And then I think one, I'm going to add a pattern paper to one. And then the other one, not sure. One of these I'll add a pattern paper, one I will not. And I have to think about what adding on top of something. Or I might not. I might just, I do want to see the texture coming through there. So I can't really add any of my cookie paper because see that it would hide the texture of the background. See, so you have to use something that's clear. Oh, I could do a napkin. I could do a white napkin, or maybe just a napkin of some sort. I think I'll do that. I'll pick a napkin for one and use paper like that, and then I'll have them ready for next week, and we can create more on top of these. Add some paint, add our focal point, some stencils. Let's see, probably some stencils. We'll add stencils for sure. That'll be the next step. And stamping, stencils and stamping. So we'll do that next time. And I'll have these backgrounds will be ready to go to do more on. Thank you so much for your time and spending it with me. I appreciate it. I am going to get my mouse. And I am going to end the program. Whoa. Whoa. Are you okay, puppy? I'm sorry, puppy. I think I accidentally maybe scared the puppy. I'm not sure. Okay, and the background comes out so cool. Like this one, which I didn't even add any other layer to it. I just started painting, I think is what I did, and stamping on it. So that's how it goes. I think though I want to try a napkin. That would be pretty cool. So guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate sending love out to the universe. I'm going to end my live now. Come join me next week and we will finish up the backgrounds with stencils and stamps and other goodies and put our focal point on. Okay doke, let's see here. Trying to find the finish line. It's not wanting to cooperate without my mats. So let's put this here and hopefully I get my, let's see, oh, it's upside down. That might help, right? There we go. All right, bye-bye. See you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. live Pacific time. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Sending love to you.